Tell me how it feels to be honored in this event and also to be the creator of an event like this.
You want me to go first?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. To create an event where we can celebrate our brothers and sisters is like so amazing to me, and it is high. It is of high importance for me to show gratitude for the men and women who make it happen out here in the world, you know, and to go through each and everything that they do and still stand strong, still have their mind, and I believe we need to celebrate them and celebrate them grand, you know.
And how does it feel to be honored?
I'm still catching up to it. I'm not one to. I'm still learning how to receive. I'm a huge giver, I got a bit of a hero complex. So I'm always the guy that's running toward the fire and try to save someone or something. But I'm accepting my position as an elder. I have a lot of people here that have been watching me since they were 10, 12, 15, 20 years old. And I think that really resonated with me last night. I was talking to one of the staff members here that's been working here for quite some time, and she told me about here, the 50th floor, how she comes up here and meditates. And she gave me an extraordinary history of the Four Seasons Hotel and extraordinary history of Atlanta. And that kind of set the tone for me because she knew who I was. You're talking about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning or whatever. I'm still at LA time, so. And it was just extraordinary hour because I realized and I have to accept and receive that I've been doing what I've been doing for a long time. 30 years is a long time. So it feels great.
That's great. And I mean, I remember seeing you on Love Jones and just the many different projects you've worked on. So tell me, when was that moment that you realized, hey, I'm making an impact in my community and just on the media landscape as well? And both of you, I'd like to know when you realized that also.
I realized it from the initial release of the magazine, the fanfare, and everyone was like, this is missing in the community because I leave all of the what are you wearing, who's with who, and who's with whom to the other folks. And with me, I want to know the heart of the person, why they do what they do, and how they do it,
I'm humbled, I have a fondness for black women, people of color, particularly black women, because my mom is black. So my wife is black. And I'm still black, depending on what day you pick me on. I may be black, may be post-black, I may be a multitude of things, but all it comes from the beginning, and none of us got here without women, and particularly African women. So I'm going to always, as best I can, try to honor that and try to make an impact in everything that I do, because all the choices that I've tried to make, I was hoping that 20 years later that my kids or, I was thinking pretty much internally, not externally, about how I wanted to be perceived 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 years from now. So to be able to stand here and be shown all this gratitude and this love and support at this time in my life is quite humbling, and I'm waiting to see how the rest of it goes.
Everything else, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
stay tuned.
Well, thank you so much. You guys provide opportunities and hope for a lot of people, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. How it feels to be honored today.
It definitely feels good when you're honored about doing something good, being impactful to young men and women. That's definitely something that I always wanted to do growing up. I told myself if I ever get into a big platform where I can really be successful and really can be viewed, I want to shine my light. And I've been taught that since I was a little kid from my dad, who was a pastor. Rest in peace to him, but he just taught me a lot in my life. So I always want to give back and share, and I'm glad that I'm in a position to do so and get honored by it.
And it seems like you've done that. I mean, I know a little bit about Camp Courageous, so tell me what made you start that and what was that impactful moment like working with that?
Whenever you get a chance to do something that you love to do, which is giving back, whenever you get a chance to speak for a lot of people that's not heard, whenever you get a chance to encourage people to be free, live out loud, be who they are, I always want to be a part of it. And I'm always trying to connect with more and more people. Whenever I see somebody doing something good, I want to hop on board, and just growing up and having the life that I lived and the things that I saw and experienced, I always want to say, whenever I get a chance to be a shining light,
Going to do that.
it's something I'm gonna do.
So tell me, who is the person who you think has made the biggest impact on your personal life?
The biggest impact on my life have to be my dad, Elmer Kirksey Sr.
Wow. Now, you work with a lot of amazing people. So let me ask you, for millennials who are trying to get into content creation and photography, what advice do you have for them?
Okay. I work with a lot of millennials being interns and assistants that work for me. The most important thing is to stay constant and be hungry for it. A lot of millennials expect instant gratification, and it's very frustrating when they come in and they feel entitled. So make sure that you're hungry, you stay hungry for it, you work hard for it, you build your brand, and that you stay consistent.
Very important. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
A big impact with the youth. Tell me what brought you to that calling.
Well, 7 years ago, right in the middle of the recession, there was a need. Young people were not able to find jobs. Young people were not graduating from school, low graduation rate, high incarceration rate. And so we wanted to design a program to provide alternatives for at-risk youth in the community.
Okay, and I know you've made a lot of documentaries as well. Tell me about your latest one, and why do you think that one's impactful?
Well, the whole reason that we started going into documentaries is to really try to raise awareness and really try to expose, not really expose, but really try to educate the community how deep this issue was. When you're talking about gangs, when you're talking about homelessness, we did a short documentary called Atlanta's Young and Homeless, where there are over 3 million, 2 million young people throughout the country that are homeless on any given day. Right here in the city of Atlanta, over 3,000 young people are not able to find homes and shelter. And so it's all about awareness and advocating for our young people.
Now, how does it feel today to be honored and recognized for that?
I'm excited, especially when you talk about this is Men of Impact and, Tanisha and the amazing things that they're doing with Impact Magazine, and to honor men, especially African-American men in the community. And I think it's very powerful. Strong men build strong communities.
So tell me a little bit more about the project.
So Will You Marry Me is a show very similar to Black Love, but it happens prior to Black Love. And what I mean by that is men have two defining moments. The first of which when he decides to make his significant other his girlfriend. The second of which when he decides to make his significant other his wife. And so the show is his defining moments leading up to asking her to be his wife. And it's one that... it's much even in the industry. As a wedding photographer, I saw that many of the shows that were on TV were really focused on, all the logistics after, the wedding day, the dress, the shoes, things like that. But nothing really told the story of what he was thinking leading up to asking her to be his wife. And so that's what the show is about. And we've gotten some great reviews. Over 1 million people has watched the show in the first season, and right now we're wrapping up season 2, and it launches on July the 1st.
July the 1st, okay. And I feel like that's interesting. Like, if you ask most women, we probably wouldn't know that time when they made that decision. Is that kind of what you've seen?
So in the last 20 interviews that we've done, and in the countless interviews I've done prior as a wedding photographer, 90% of women, when you ask them, what do you think his defining moment was, they'll give you some big, reason. And the reality of it is, it's a lot simpler than that. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm looking forward to it. So July 1st, and where can we find the past season?
So right now you can go to willyoumarryme.com to see the first season, which is the first 6 episodes. And season 2 will also be on willyoumarryme.com and also on Facebook.
With everything you've done, how does it feel to be honored today?
I think it's wonderful. Anytime somebody takes the time to say that the work that you've done is meaningful and impactful, it's a blessing. So when I got the call, not only was I thankful, but it reminds you that the work that you do means something to somebody, even when so many people are hating on you at the same time.
So let me ask you, I know you've done Man Cave, which is kind of changing the perception of, black men. So let me ask you, why did you decide to do that, and what was your reasoning behind it?
No, I mean, Man Cave was for a number of reasons. One, I was tired of people thinking all I did was read books and watch the news. And two, it was for that reason, right? I mean, where else on TV do you see black men having a conversation about something other than sports? And I wanted to create a space that could be authentic, that could be aggressive, that could be provocative, but could also be funny. Because so often, too, in these days and times, we're pissed off about legitimate things that are going on in the world. We need a space where we can laugh and also show our humanity and our complexity. And that's what Man Cave did, and I hope what it'll do for a second, third, fourth, fifth season.
True, true. So, I mean, I know you've done digital work, communications work, as well as been in front of the screen. What's something that you enjoy? If you had to say what you enjoyed the most, what would it be?
I think it's just overall storytelling. And so whether the storytelling comes through me getting ready to be on Ricky Smiley on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or whether it's helping clients tell impactful stories about how what they do affects the community, the storytelling piece is the thread of all of it. And so I don't care whether it's my story or whether it's somebody else's or whether it's on TV or whether it's on the internet or whether it's on the radio. The fact that I get the ability to tell stories is the best part of my job.
Now, in this social media digital age, is there a platform that you look at and say, I really enjoy this? I like either from how it's created or what they're talking about. Tell me the one, of course, we know Impact Magazine, and tell me another one that you look at and you say, I really enjoy it.
I love Blavity. I love what Morgan and her team are doing there. I think you know better than anybody that it's hard in this space. There's so many options for content, and to see what Blavity is doing, that they've got Summit 21 coming up where they're bringing women together in leadership. They've done Afrotech. I think that the culture needs more and more publications that understand it's not just about the content, but it's about being a lifestyle destination. And Blavity is one of the favorite destinations that I think is getting that right, as well as getting young people in the mix to not only have jobs and make money, but have impact.
So you have conquered the field as well as working in journalism. So tell me, as a millennial, how'd you do that? What was your impactful path?
You know, I think the biggest thing is just being able to change with the times. I mean, I'm an internet baby, so I kind of use that to my advantage, the digital age, and getting creative with the way that I do media and understanding it, and you know, it's the way you communicate to people. And if you're a good communicator, you can do a lot of good things in this business.
That's true. Now, what about, you've obviously used your platform to fight injustice as well. Is that something that you've always wanted to do, or when did you decide to make the decision?
You know, I don't know, like I set out just like everybody else, just wanting to play football at the highest level. And I had a hard-fought road to the league, and I always felt like God put me in that position for a reason. And the reason wasn't just to be able to afford nice things or nice cars and stuff. So when I got there, you know, I just felt like it was my duty to use my platform to help my community and as many people as I could. And, you know, activism and talking against social injustice is where my path led me. And like I said, it's the most proud part of my career that I can remember, football included.
Well, it's good. Wow. Well, that's good that you're helping people and you're doing that, but it's also great to be honored. So tell me how it feels to be honored from this magazine and this platform.
No, it's incredible. Shout out to Impact Magazine, to be honest. I mean, you never do the things you do for this reason, but it's always awesome to get recognition and for people to tell you they appreciate what you're doing.
Right, right. Well, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for talking to me.
No problem.